start with the beginning.
Hello viewers, welcome back to the new edition of Fellowship Varta after a long. Sorry for the delay in between. And today we have got Mr. Adeesh Diwan with us. He is an engineer who has worked in industry and who has gone back to academics. So Adeesh, welcome on this platform. And I'll request you to please introduce yourself and also tell about your academic industry journey.
Sure. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, sir. It's a pleasure to be here at in the Fellowship Varta. So, as you have introduced my name is Adeesh Diwan. So, I have done my BTech in Mechanical Engineering from Dayalbagh Education Institute, Agra. Then I moved on to working at Samsung Display, Noida. I have worked as a mechanical engineer for around 10 months. But I was actually enjoying that journey. But during that, what happened was the COVID actually happened, and it was a full wave at that moment. So unfortunately, I had to resign that job, and fortunately, I got a job at Infosys where I worked as in the IT field. So I had the basic understanding of programming, database, and little bit of the technical stuff, which we actually use in the computer science subjects. So while working at Infosys, I actually there was a 6 months training program where we actually got acquainted to in detail about all the uh, from starting from the Python, Java, and to the databases again from the scratch itself. So I worked in Infosys for around 3.5 years, where my work was primarily involved in the customer experience industry, where I worked with multiple clients, especially in the education and training assessment, then to working with the product based domain in Infosys itself, where our client was a South Korean client, and we worked on transforming the digital capabilities of the port, which was actually related to on how we can actually transform their capabilities with respect to urban planning, civil engineering, and the intricacies of the construction sector. So while we were working on these three domains, our focus was to make a product, an IT product, where we actually could transform their efficiency and increase their throughput by maximizing their efficiency. So this was the overall, in a gist, if I could explain. Then, because while I was working at Infosys, I realized that uh, I was much more interested in the civil engineering aspect because I work with the civil engineers. I work because I was working in the managing product. I realized that there is much more to think upon in this particular domain because currently, if we see in India, in 2047, the infrastructure boom is going to happen. Not only the infrastructure boom, but also if India has to grow at a rapid rate, if we have to target at 7 to 8% of the GDP, infrastructure has to be the backbone of any economy. And as the current government is focusing a lot upon this, so I've thought of moving to MBA because I had the technical capabilities of working in the product. I wanted to get into the managerial front as well. So that is the reason I switched on to pursuing my MBA. MBA was currently I'm doing in infrastructure management, which is focused on understanding the nitties and gritties of infrastructure, especially in the context of energy, transport, and real estate. So these three domains I'm currently studying upon at the current institute in Gujarat. So I think that's all about me.
Okay, great knowing about that. Adish, can you please tell us how did you get into Samsung from Dayalbagh? And was it a
So
campus placement or did you make your own effort? And what kind of project did you do over there?
yeah, sure. So during my while I was pursuing my engineering at Dalbagh, so I got the campus placement itself. And sorry, sir, what was your second question? I didn't get it.
No,
The
I was
first
trying to
question.
ask what was your work profile over there, and
Okay.
would you like that the future engineers and they're looking at Samsung because it's one of the Korean giants in India. What is
Correct.
the work atmosphere in the company, and how much you would like to recommend it?
So definitely, I think South Korean companies, be it anyone, Samsung, Hyundai, all of them are world class in technology plus planning. So if we consider about Samsung, especially in the manufacturing facility, it's one of the best facilities that, not the facilities point, but also the culture wise, it's one of the best, I would say, because they give a very good atmosphere to learn and learn from the best. Especially the Korean bosses we have, they are one of the, they are
You
very
highlight
supportive in
what did
nature.
you learn in Samsung?
So basically, I don't know whether I can, I'm allowed to say like what exactly, because
No, no, no.
they have a lot of. I mean,
Just broad
if
things.
I talk,
Broad things.
yeah, if I talk about
Nothing
my job
specific,
responsibility,
but very broad.
Yeah, I was working as an industrial engineer over there, where my work was to improvise the efficiency. On how did that, we used to use a lot of internal tools, which were actually provided by Samsung itself, and we used to visualize the data and find the root cause analysis and improvise what the existing uh, the throughput is coming, and how we can actually see the loopholes in the system, and then we can improvise the
I
product
hope
system. That was
Samsung
my.
provides opportunity to its employees to learn through
Yeah, yeah.
trainings and workshops.
There is no specified training workshops conducted in Samsung, but definitely there is a mentor which is given who actually tells you if you have any queries. Because I mean, the ecosystem is actually developed that whenever you get onto the shop floor, there is a automatic learning system over there. So automatic in the sense like you have all the SOPs in balance, we have all the training materials in front of us. So if you need any help, they can give tell to us.
So, how would you recommend it to the future engineers?
Definitely, it's one of the best companies, I would say. If you're someone is considering to get into, especially in the mechanical field,
So most of
everyone should.
most of our new engineers, they are looking for three things: one, learning; second, pay; and third, promotions. So, in that format, how do you rate Samsung? Is it a good employer or it's not a
Yeah,
good?
no, no, definitely. Definitely, learning, pay, promotions, three attributes. I would say Samsung is one of the best. If you talk about pay, I do feel it's also about your talent as well. Not only talent, but also on how much you want to learn.
Yeah,
So if a person wants to stay at the same level, want to do the same work again and again, so he won't be paid, right? So
obviously,
it's same for every industry.
learning need to be adopted in the work.
Correct, correct. So pay wise, yeah, I mean, if you are willing to learn, definitely it's going to pay well.
You have migrated from Samsung to Infosys. Now, of course, there is a difference in the character of the company. Like Samsung is a product company, Infosys is a service industry, and you told that it is because that during COVID period you opted for such a change. But in terms of your work delivery, work efficiency, and your own learning, how did you feel the change, and how much you have to adjust or adapt to the new environment?
I think there was not much change, to be very honest, because I think in Samsung as well, we had a lot of automated tools, which we used to use, because everything is automated right now, everything is digitalized right now. So we used to use a lot of software, because as I mentioned, we used to improvise the efficiency by using the existing software which we're using in Samsung itself. So, uh, like, although we were mechanical engineers, but still we used the automated tool. We didn't used to get into I mean, the complete machinery, understanding the complete machinery. We used to use the automated tool itself because everything was automated over there. So while transitioning to Infosys, I think Infosys trained us, in every domain, whatever they wanted, the programming or the designing. Because I worked as a customer experience domain. I was also working in the marketing team as well, because I was uh, positioning our brand to the client, how we are actually strategizing the our strategy, so that maximum, what do you say, I mean, the maximum we can actually get from the client, and the client actually takes us the best, from our resources. So I think there was not much change, because as I mentioned, everything is automated, so we use a lot of softwares over there in
Now,
both the domains.
now
For me as well, because
one difficult questions. You see, normally we are expecting our engineers to go and deep into engineering, but then there are a lot of engineers
correct.
who are moving. away from engineering, going to fields like finance, management, etc. And as you said that you have now joined MBA Infrastructure. Uh, so, why did you go for this change, and what is your vision for next 10 years?
Okay, so as why did I change? Okay, why did I move over there? So I think I will answer this because I was working in the technical stuff in Infosys. I was working to make a product which actually automated their existing system for the South Korean client. So for me, I understood the nitties and gritties of civil engineering, but I actually wanted to get into the deep, on how this particular thing functions because Infosys is a service-based company. So today I was working with this particular client. Tomorrow I might not be working. So this was only for a brief amount of period that Infosys had this client. But I understood that I have a lot of interest, gotten into this particular area, the civil engineering infrastructure. Why I didn't choose to get into the MTech because I didn't have the BTech in civil engineering. That was the core reason. I could not move into the MTech field. So I had only one option left that I moved to the MBA infrastructure management. And also this could help me to shift myself from technical to the managerial stuff. So these were the two reasons.
Okay, so Adish, my good wishes are with you. And if you would like to leave a message to the upcoming engineers, how they should look at their career profile and how should they balance their journey between uh, professional company and academics, if you would like to say anything.
Yeah, I think someone should choose engineering if you are really passionate about it. You should not choose based upon your parents, or something, the society pressurizes you. Because I personally feel engineering is a very lucrative field if you're really interested to make a mark upon it. And if you're doing your BTech and you're focusing on doing your MBA because the society is saying to you, I think then you will be in a situation, always be in a situation of confusion always because you don't know where you should go. So if you are pursuing your mechanical engineering or your civil engineering, you should know like, okay, I'm really interested in it. If I consider my example also, uh, like I was in a deep state of confusion after doing my BTech because I landed a job at Samsung, but unfortunately I had to let it off go because due to COVID. But when I moved to Infosys, I knew that this is my field, the civil engineering field. So I moved from transitioning to the MBA itself, and I got the good opportunity to get into the infrastructure domain. But this one suggestion: if you are interested in it, go for it, and then try to get into the research as much as possible. Because if you see, India need a lot of researchers right now who are actually passionate about making nation building and focusing on how we can make India a better country, and better way of living.
I
So
think
I
the
think
message is loud and clear. Chase your dreams with passion. Don't
correct,
by the suggestions given by your neighbors or relatives or someone else. Only what you are feeling from inside. Follow that thing, and
correct,
that will take you to your lifetime goals, whatever you would like to do. And both engineering, management, finances, and there are so many fields. Each field has its own advantage, but you should know where you are going to have your neck. Thank you, Adi,
correct.
for all your inputs. It was nice talking to you.